Triangulation is one of the favorite manipulation tactics of narcissists. It's disturbing and unhealthy behavior, and sadly, a lot of people experience or have experienced this behavior. It can result in becoming isolated from your support system and becoming more dependent on the narcissist. Therefore, it can be very useful to learn about triangulation and how to recognize it. In this video, I will go deeper into 6 examples of narcissistic triangulation in order to illustrate how it could work. Hopefully, it will help you to become more aware of this behavior. I hope this video can be helpful to you. Triangulation is a manipulation strategy in which one person doesn't communicate directly with another person, but rather uses the third person for communication, thereby forming a triangle. For victims, it could result in a negative vicious circle of being involved in gossiping, comparing, and feeling envious. In another video, I explain triangulation more deeply, why narcissists do it, the effect it can have on you, and how to possibly deal with it. Now, triangulation can be done in many different ways, and it can vary from being very subtle to letting others blatantly smear you. It can thus be helpful to illustrate this with some examples of triangulation. The first example is a common form of triangulation called a love triangle. It means a narcissist brings in another lover or ex, and they actually try to create a situation in which you compete against this other person for the narcissist's attention and love. Clearly, a narcissist loves drama, emotional responses, and attention. This example can play out as a narcissist sharing that a mutual friend, family member, or coworker has been flirting with them. By actively sharing this, the narcissist wants to create jealousy and insecurity within their partner and similarly show they are popular or wanted. The underlying feeling or fear that it awakes is that you can be easily replaced by someone else. It can result in becoming mad, emotional, and or trying harder to please the narcissist, which will all be narcissistic supply. When trying harder to please the narcissist, it can create an unhealthy dynamic in which the narcissist is more dominant and in control. It can grow into a dynamic where a narcissist will only take and their partner will only give. If you respond angry or emotional to the narcissist's behavior, they can accuse you of being jealous and overreacting. The narcissist might act as if your normal response is actually abnormal, which is a form of gaslighting. They can try to make it appear as if you are too sensitive, and thereby devaluing or discarding your feelings. Clearly, it's this very manipulative, unhealthy, and devaluing behavior. A healthy person doesn't want you to become jealous or insecure, but rather wants you to develop as a person and become more confident. The second example is what I named the Gaslighting Triangle, or you could see it as gaslighting by proxy. The Gaslighting Triangle revolves around a narcissist seeking validation for their truth. They seek support for their truth to create more pressure on their victims. The narcissist uses so-called flying monkeys to support the story, and it can create a feeling that everybody agrees with the narcissist. It's a way to create emotional pressure, confuse you, or to make you doubtful. The danger is that you might start to believe certain things because of this outside pressure. If you want to learn more about gaslighting, you could watch my video going deeper into this. Clearly, it's very manipulative behavior, as it's using other people to gain a form of control in a relationship. It's thus using force and pressure to win at the cost of the other person. Now, a gaslighting triangle can occur in many different forms, such as within a smear campaign, by idealizing you towards others, or a narcissist trying to make you look crazy or unstable to people in your environment. You can read some more about these and other examples of the gaslighting triangle in my article, which you can find in the subscription. Now, the third example is the triangle of comparison. A common method used by narcissists is to idealize someone else in order to devalue you. It's a way of showing conditional love, praise, and/or validation to others, and thereby discarding the feelings and the importance of you. The narcissist will tell you about a perfect person and why some people are so great in order to show you indirectly how you should behave or why you are not worthy. Again, this is very manipulative behavior. A narcissist could use people with status and choose to take sides with them or idealize them. In essence, by using comparisons, the narcissist is showing you the conditions in order to gain their conditional love. Sadly, these conditions also change because of their unending needs. This means you will never be able to satisfy them in the long run. Now, some example phrases of comparing could be, "Why can't you be more like Paul?" "I love my mother. She is the best person I know. I wish you could be more like her." Even small comparing comments can be very unhealthy, especially if it's done regularly and deliberately. It's very abusive. It's all about comparing you to others in order to make you feel insecure or guilty. Now, the fourth example of triangulation is using a new relationship to abuse or smear you. A narcissist could use their newly found love or relationship and make them disturb or smear you. This new relationship could be manipulated into bothering you in all kinds of ways. This could be a form of stalking, such as texting, yelling, raging, and so forth. It's thus a very disturbing game that will drain your energy. The fifth example, which is quite common, is creating a distance or driving a wedge. This is where a narcissist tries to create a distance between you and someone close to you, such as a friend or a family member. They will complain to you about this person or try to create doubts about the kindness or loyalty of them. It's like they try to put evil thoughts in your head. Additionally, they can ask questions in such a way you will think it's your own opinion. You might not even notice their manipulation. When they do this, they could similarly complain to this person about you. It can slowly create a distance between you and this person where both will not approach each other to solve it. A reason why a narcissist could do this is to simply eliminate possible threats. The narcissist feels who is under their influence and those that are not. If someone is clearly not impressed by them or not under their control, they will try to create a distance between this person and their victim. The method could also be used to control information shared between these persons. It gives them the power to be the person in control, as everyone is communicating through the narcissist. They use it to create their truth and find support for it. They love to portray themselves as the victim if someone questions their role. Realize that emotionally healthy persons will take a distance from drama created by splitting instead of emphasizing it. Normal people don't enjoy being put in the middle of an argument between other persons. It's important to learn to recognize whether someone seems to be involved in creating drama. The last example of triangulation is constant negative interpretation and complaining. This will drain your energy. A simple example to explain the dynamic is that of having a family member that is narcissistic that complains to others about you never calling them. At the same time, they will never call you themselves. This is what happens. If you call, you will get a negative manipulative reaction such as, "Oh, you finally decided to call me? You don't call me a lot, even though we are family." You are then supposed to feel guilty. If you point out they never call as well, they will likely go into a form of rage or being very offended. there is mostly no proportion to this reaction. The narcissist will share all this with any support they can find, and others might, for example, suggest the victim should call more often. That support is supposed to prove that the victim should feel guilty and apologize or change behavior. It shows it's all about dramatic and negative interpretation of what happens and not taking any responsibility for themselves. It's very simple to always make others responsible and not take any blame. It's also very immature. To conclude, the dynamic of triangulation seems to be simply a game of truth, and you don't want to be a part of it. Know that how someone speaks of others tells you mostly something about their perception of others. It will reveal much about their personality. This game of truth makes it important to become aware of what's going on. Try to become aware of whether someone brings you more harmony or negative energy when you interact with them. Do you feel better after interacting, or do you possibly feel tired or drained? To learn more about why a narcissist uses triangulation and how to possibly deal with it, I recommend watching my video going deeper into this. Thank you for listening, and I wish you strength.